G'day guys. Sorry I haven't put up a recipe in the last week. I've been pretty busy with exams, but they're all done, and the old sling here is slowing me down a little bit. But I did manage to get our recipe done this week, and it is a caramel slice. One of you guys has asked for it, so I decided to chuck it up. I've made it before, and I made it again, and it turned out absolutely fantastic. Really, really simple. It takes about 15 minutes of actually preparation and a bit of time to cook, and you've got some beautiful results. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Feel free to comment and like, subscribe, you name it. So I'll see you next week.
Now, before I start, if you guys have got a spare moment to go check out a little bit of an adventure my brother and I have got planned, I've put a link below in the description, so just go check it out. It's quite cool. Anyway, back to it. We're going to start with 1 cup of plain flour, followed by half a cup of shredded coconut, and another half cup of brown sugar. Now this is our dry ingredients for our base, and we're just going to stick in 125 grams of melted butter. And just grab a spoon, work it all together. It should get into a nice sort of thick, doughy consistency. As you can see here, it should be able to mould into a ball in your hand. Now we're going to pre-warm our oven to 180 degrees while we work on pressing our base. Now what I've got here is just a large dish, around 30 centimeters by 15 centimeters wide, and all we're going to do is grab that base we just made and press it nice and evenly into our greased baking dish. It's fairly simple and straightforward at the moment. So once you've got it nice sort of compacted, so make sure it's compacted quite a bit, make sure it's nice and sort of as uniform as possible, and we're going to stick this in the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes or until the top goes slightly golden. Now this is what your base should look like as it comes out of the oven. Nice and golden. It should have a nice sort of crunch at the top. Now we're going to let this cool down a little while we work on the actual filling, the caramel for our caramel slice. Now what we're going to do is grab a saucepan over a medium heat, and we're going to begin with melting a little bit of butter. So it's 60 grams of butter that we're going to melt. Now guys, be really careful once you add the next ingredient. It's very easy to burn it. I've done it before. So just start at a nice low heat and then work upwards. So we're going to add in a can of condensed milk. So it's around 400 grams of condensed milk, followed by 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. We're just going to mix all this in, and you'll start to see that the colour will change. And then we're going to cook it for around 8 minutes. We'll heat it up for around 8 minutes until it starts bubbling, and it should thicken and develop a nice caramelly colour, and the taste should be phenomenal as well. Now the next step isn't rocket science. We're going to grab our caramel. It should be nice thick consistency, and we're going to pour it evenly across the top of our base. Make sure it's, like I said again, nice and even, all the same sort of depth across the entire base. And we're going to bang this back into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for around 12 minutes. This will help firm up the actual caramel for your slice. You don't get this gooey mess at the end. And it should lightly brown the top of it. Make sure, again, when you're working with these sugary products, it's very easy to burn it. So just keep an eye on it around 10 minutes. Pull it out, and this is what it should sort of look like before we stick on the final layer of our slice. Now, before we move on to the final layer, it's absolutely crucial that it is cold. So it's got to be cool completely. It takes around 2, maybe 3 hours. You can bang it in the fridge to speed things up, but make sure our caramel is completely cool, because when we stick on our chocolate, it'll melt and it'll never actually set. So we're going to, I've melted 200 grams of milk chocolate, and we're just going to smooth this across the top of our slice. Again, make sure it's nice and even. You don't want thin pieces of chocolate in one area and really thick pieces in the other. And for an added step, this is quite fine if you just want to stick with milk chocolate. For an added step, I've gone with white chocolate just for a bit of decoration. I've also melted around 50 grams of white chocolate. We're just going to spoon it across the top of our milk chocolate just before it sets. You don't want to do it too early or too late. If it's too late, it won't actually mix together. Now what we're going to do is grab a toothpick or a skewer, and we're just going to make pretty patterns in the chocolate. Now it's completely up to you what you want to do. You can make a nice uniform pattern or go like the clappers and just do what I've done. So it's entirely up to you. This is a nice way to finish off your caramel slice. There it is, caramel slice done and dusted. Make sure you let the chocolate actually set before you cut it, otherwise you get another mess on your hands. So to the person that requested this recipe, I hope it helps. But until next time, I hope that you enjoyed it. And like I said, feel free to check out my link that I've put in for the next adventure that I've got planned, or any other videos that I've got on my channel. So stay safe, guys.